Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of The Secret Within by Theresa Golding, narrated by Alyssa Bresnahan, and directed by Tiana Kennedy.
Chapter 1. Carly raced down the cement sidewalk, her feet bare and her hair tangled and filled with sand. The sun had been up only a few hours, but the pavement was already turning hot as a griddle. Here and there a small oasis of cool grass sprouted before a house's front stoop, but Carly dared not stop. Broken flip-flops in her hand, she concentrated on the sidewalk, running hard, but carefully, picking her way around cracks, crumbling squares, and ubiquitous white pebbles that spilled from the yards of the beach houses that lined the street. Halfway up 33rd Avenue, she saw Frankie Marzano. She slowed her pace, but it was too late to take a detour. He was standing in the middle of the sidewalk, waiting for her to approach. Carly's heart was pounding. She could feel the sweat trickling down the back of her neck. "Get out of the way, Frankie. Please get out of the way," she thought. Carly crossed to the other side of the street, the blacktop even hotter than the cement, the soles of her feet cooking with each step. Frankie was wearing a new pair of Nikes, laced tight, and a faded pair of baggy shorts that seemed dangerously close to slipping off his skinny hips and falling below his knees. It was early August, and his bare chest was tanned a deep brown. He sprinted across the street to stand in Carly's way. "Cool threads," Frankie sneered, tugging at Carly's worn t-shirt and eyeing her up and down. "And what's that perfume you're wearing? Eau de wet sand?" Carly tried to pass him on the right and then on the left. Each time she moved, he jumped in front of her to block her path. Normally, Carly just stood quietly until he got bored with making fun of her. That's what she did at school, through all of 8th grade, in the cafeteria, in the auditorium, in study hall. But today, Frankie seemed revved up, and she couldn't wait it out. She was way late, dangerously late even, and she was beginning to panic. Carly felt the fire in her feet traveling up through her body, and she exploded. She bolted past Frankie, knocking him sideways, and took off up 33rd Avenue. She heard him cursing her as she ran, but that was nothing compared to what she would face when she got home. At the corner of 33rd and Atlantic Avenues, just across the street from her house, Carly paused beneath a tree to catch her breath. She didn't want to go in panting, and she needed to think of some kind of decent excuse. The house looked quiet. At least he wasn't peering out the window or pacing the sidewalk in front of the candy store. Carly yanked at a length of her long brown hair and twirled it around her fingers. She stared at the drab, quiet candy shop. She had been in such a rush to get here, and now she couldn't bring herself to go in. She hugged her arms to her chest and took a deep breath. It felt like a dozen crabs were crawling around inside her, pinching their way up the sides of her stomach and then back down again. A pair of cool hands slipped over Carly's eyes. "Guess who?" "Get off!" Carly twisted away, arms raised in front of her face. She stumbled backward over the curb and fell into the street. She unclenched her jaw when she saw that it was only Aileen, her next-door neighbor. "Whoa, you're a bit jumpy." Aileen reached a hand down and pulled Carly to her feet. "You okay?" "Fine. I can't really talk now, Aileen." Carly quickly scanned the windows of her house, then ducked behind the tree. "I gotta go." "In trouble again?" Aileen played with a big wad of chewing gum in her mouth, pulling a long, droopy string through her teeth and wrapping it around her finger. "I don't know what you're talking about." Carly felt the sweat beading on her upper lip and quickly wiped it away, the salty taste seeping into her mouth and drying out her throat. "Yeah, right." Aileen popped the bubblegum ring from her finger back into...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?